up here. Come on. Dobbie, we're live. Come on. La la la. We got it going. Dobbie. Dobbie got really mad at me. She booped herself in the nose. She booped herself. I was petting her. Come here, Dobbie. No, you're just not into it. Okay. I was petting Dobbie and she was all like loving it. And then she turned real quick and she booped her nose on the side of my nail. And she looked at me like this. And then she just ran off the bed and she jumped off and she ran underneath it. And then she wouldn't come out. And then she finally came out. And then she sat in a bed and just glared at me from a distance. Hi, Maya. She just glared at me from a distance. And I was like, okay, well, I guess Dobbie and I aren't friends. Dobbie, come up here. Come up. Okay, fine. Do what you want. I loved it. This new episode was insane. This new episode was so good. I've said consecutively since episode 5, every single time we get a new episode, I'm like, this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. 5, 6, and 7 knocked it out of the park for me. Hello. Are you mad at me still? Oh, you are. I'm sorry, there's a pair of jeans on your blanket. How unthoughtful of me. Come here. Okay, you do your thing. She's so mad. She's so angry. Yeah, these last few episodes have really been good, and I think that this one is my new favorite. I moved to give you space on screen. Ugh, Dobbie. Can you say hi, Anna Lou? Hi, Anna Lee. I don't know, Anna Lou? Anna Lee is your name, but you typed Anna Lou. Hi, Anna Lee and Anna Lou. The beach confession was crazy. Chris's acting was so good. Not surprising because he's amazing. What I liked even better, granted that whole thing was a lot longer and a lot more impactful, I loved him on the dock while LOML. That broke me. While that was playing and he's sitting there and like he wants to almost like hug himself or like hold himself, but he doesn't know what to do with his hands. And he's just like, you could see the pain on his face. And that scene gave me chills. Oh, what did the lyrics over it too were so good. I'd rather be safe than starry-eyed. It takes time. Oh my God, I can't even think straight right now. I love that freaking song so much, and I know every word, but I said I don't mind. It takes time. Because I texted it to my friend. I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. I felt a glow like this, never before and never since. Was exactly what was played over him sitting on the dock. I thought that was so good. So good. And Belly pissed me off. Belly's been pissing me off since season 1. So I love Belly. I love our girl because she's growing. She's trying to learn and understand and but I think that Belly is at fault for a lot of things that Jeremiah and Conrad end up taking the fall for in the fandom. And I think that's just like ammo for one side to use against the other, when in reality, I'm like, that was kind of Belly's fault, was it not? Like, think about Belly's side of it. I spelled it wrong. That's okay. I'm a horrible speller. Joshua! Hey, Jess. Can't stay in the chat. I'm still recovering from the episode. Damn. I know I said this both times. I am not going to stay on longer than an hour because I don't know if anybody in here watches Big Brother. I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and I really wanna see the eviction episode tonight, and that starts at 8, so I'm only gonna be on for an hour. She was supposed to kiss Conrad, I wanted her to kiss him. I thought you were going to say, that she was, like, too mean to him, because I've been seeing a lot of people say that, like, Belly screaming at him was uncalled for and it was too mean. I don't think it was. I feel like there's a lot of pent up energy. First off, just like the episode alone of her spiral into where she was at that moment. She's drinking tequila, she's taking gummies, she's having flashbacks of Conrad and then seeing Jeremiah, and she is like all chaotic in her head already. But in addition to that, all of this pent up aggression and chaos from their last relationship, which was now over 5 years ago, that they never really got closure on, all came out in that one scene. So I don't think it was uncalled for. I think that she just had a lot to say. And she was already in that mindset, and that's how it came out. I love your videos. Thank you, Annalie. I just put out the finale of Ginny and Georgia, and it got blocked. So, it's the music, it's always the music. There's such great music in these episodes for both The Summer I Turned Pretty and Ginny and Georgia, but the music always gets me copywritten. So, and not only copywritten, but this actually got blocked. So when something gets copywritten, I just can't monetize it, but I can still post it. This got completely blocked. They wouldn't even let me post it. Bro, she should not have said that. He'll never be what Jeremiah was. He's a cheater. Conrad is obviously the better man. So I actually had a reaction to that too. I was like, Belly, no. Like, we know that this isn't true. Like, we know that you are just angry and saying things. I I try to like break it down to where I can understand where the character is coming from, because there's a very big difference between experiencing these things and being that character than it is for us to watch it happen and have an opinion on it, because we get to see everything. We get to see everyone's emotions, everyone's opinions, so we have a different viewpoint from them. I When she said that, I didn't like it either, but then I thought back to it, and it is to a certain extent the truth, considering that they are two different people, and Jeremiah will never be what Conrad is to her either. They're just very different. So she meant it as an insult. She meant it as a dig, but in reality, like, if you think about it factually, like, there are moments that she will have with Conrad, that things that she's been through with Conrad that Jeremiah can never be to her, just like Taylor, just like Annika, things like that. So I think that she was definitely using it as an insult, but there is some truth to it. I'm team Conrad. I I'm team Jelly. I'm team Jeremiah, but I say I am team Jeremiah. That doesn't necessarily mean I want Jeremiah with her at the end of the series at this point. I think it's clear that they've just been so divided and they are in two different places. And if Conrad is capable of confessing his feelings like he did and being able to have that relationship with Belly, then I think they definitely are a better match. But I don't think that should take away from like the good that came from Jelly and like the love that they had. I had a really difficult time understanding Conrad in season 1. And then season 2, I definitely got to understand him more, but I still didn't agree with a lot of the choices. And now season 3, I think that he is taking the steps that he should be, which is going to therapy, which is admitting his faults, admitting his feelings. And so I think it's not that I don't like like in the beginning of the series, I didn't like Conrad. I like him now, and I can see him with Belly, but I still support Jeremiah because that's where I was from the beginning. I love Ginny and Georgia. Ginny and Georgia is so good. Having to edit that last finale when I hadn't watched it in so long, like, brought me right back to everything, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I hope they announce the new season so bad." I think that they're gonna announce it sooner than later because they filmed season excuse me. I don't have my fancy humidifier on. They filmed season 3 when they were filming season 4. So I would imagine that it's done, but they haven't said anything about it yet. I loved the whole "We Can't Be Friends" edit of Conrad and Belly. I loved that, and I'm not trying to insult him, but I loved how they put nerdy Chris Briney with the glasses, like, out of nowhere, just like, "Hey." It was adorable because it's like she's liked him for so long, like, throughout all of the years kinda thing, but it was just so funny to see him pop up like that, like, uh, I'm team no one. Yeah. I'm team no one should get with anyone at this point, LOL, but I think that's because I'm not a fan of the love triangle/brother trope, and it's just too messy for me, and I 100% understand and agree with that. I think that we're probably going to get somebody as Endgame. I do think that there's going to be a bit of a time jump with that to incorporate that everybody kind of moved on and did their own thing, but these two drifted back together. And I have a feeling it's going to be Bonrad, but I agree as well. And in reality, like, obviously, this is a fictional world, but in reality, there's no way that any of this could ever work. Like, there's no way. There's just no way. There's no way that Jeremiah and Belly could have dated for 4 years. There's no way they could have almost got married only for her to leave Jeremiah for Conrad. There's no way that anybody would be able to handle this in a family. There's no way. I need more of Conrad's POV. That was, like, my biggest complaint about the Conrad POV episode, and so many people got mad at me for this. I wanted other things. I'm not insulting, like, because I was like, it's all swooning over Belly. All of it was swooning over Belly. And it's not that I didn't want to see that. It's that I wanted his opinion on other things. Like, we are finally in this person's head. Give us his opinion when he's talking to Laurel. Give us an opinion when he's talking to Adam. Like, we got a very, very brief little snippet for when Adam called him. Like, give us his POV of all these things that are happening. It was all Belly. And I was like, we already know that he's in love with Belly. We already know how he feels about Belly. Like, give us a little of that, but give us something else too. I don't think we're going to get another POV from him, though. Hi, Haley. Are you going to be on live because how long are you going to be on live? Because I want to know. But anyways, how's your day been? Haley, I am going to be getting off in about 40 minutes. I'm making this a really short one. I've said that the last 2 times, and the first time I think I was on for 2.5 hours. The second time I was like 3.5 hours. But this time I mean it because I'm a huge Big Brother fan, and the new episode is on at 8 and it's 7:10 right now. So I kind of want to get off and set that up. Maybe Dobbie will stop hating me and snuggle with me and watch the new Big Brother episode. I didn't realize that until later too because I was like, why did I not start this earlier? I got started this normally I did 6:30 and then I did 7 and I was like, I should have did 6:30. They're filming in Paris, so I'm ready to see it. So, I I heard that they filmed a decent amount of time in Paris. Um, I was talking about this with my friend. So, we're on episode 7. We get 4 episodes left. I'm thinking episode 8 is going to be wedding stuff. But somebody I was thinking episode 8 is gonna be after I don't know. Aftermath and wedding stuff. Episode 9 is going to be aftermath of wedding. Episode 10, Paris. Episode 11, time jump. Something along the lines of that. My friend was saying that they thought that aftermath was gonna be next episode and wedding was gonna be episode 9, and then 10, Paris, 11, wrap up. But I don't know. We all know she's gonna end with Conrad. I can't wait to see it in Paris, and then Paris by Taylor Swift needs to play. That would be perfect. Um, yeah, I think there's a few people that were like, "You're like, you need to see that Conrad's Endgame," and I was like, "Oh, I've known Conrad was Endgame from season 1." This ain't my first rodeo. I've been through a love triangle before. It was very clear that obviously Conrad was going to be endgame from like the first episode. So yeah, I definitely agree it's going to be him. And we do know that Chris was in Paris filming, so he probably will be in Paris. I'm curious to see how they do that though, because again, like so much at this point has been changed from the books that the way that they did Paris in the books w wouldn't have Conrad there. They didn't have Conrad there. It was just letters. So I'm curious to see how they make that work, or like maybe we're thinking Paris, but maybe it's the time jump and then Paris, and I don't know. We'll have to see. We don't know what will happen in the last 2 episodes because I am sure the next episode is a wedding episode. Episode 9 will surely be the aftermath of the wedding and Belly going to Paris. Yeah, the last 2 are tricky. I can't wait for the wedding to fail. So, Maya, did you read the books? I don't remember if I asked you that. Have you read the books? Nah, he's gotta go to Paris to get his girl. Have you read the books? I don't wanna spoil anything from the books because a lot of my opinions are things that are influenced by the books. Like, yes, I did. Okay. So in Paris, he's not there, but the letters, like she's getting the letters. So I wonder if maybe we're gonna have like that and then like a bit of a time jump and see that like maybe she stayed in Paris and because she's not answering his letters, he shows up. I think that would be cute. Do you think they ruined his character this season and in book 3, or do you think he's always been like that? Sarah, I think that Jeremiah has always had immature tendencies in certain aspects. I don't deny that. I definitely think that season 3, he is way worse in the show than in the books. And I do feel that season 3, they were purposely trying to implement things that would push us away from him towards Conrad. And I don't say that in defense of Jeremiah because I want to protect him, because my second comment is I think there was enough things that he did wrong that would have pushed us away regardless. So it's like they didn't have to go tenfold and emphasize so much negativity for him when like I think there was plenty there to work with already. So I do think that they pushed his character a little more negatively in the show purposely to push us towards Conrad. And it It disappoints me just because I feel like the show has been so good with its writing that I don't think they need to do that. I also don't think that showing somebody's faults should uplift somebody else's positives. Like, I wanna like them because I like them. I don't wanna like them because that person sucks. Um and so I actually mentioned this, I think I mentioned it in my reaction. My friend had mentioned, "What about the writers' strike? Like, do you think that had an influence on this?" And I looked it up and they said it did. They said that the writers' strike was happening right when this was all going on, when they were writing season 3, and that it definitely impacted, like, revising scripts, and they kinda just wanted to rush it out because by then, by filming, by release, all the other the cast members having different projects and stuff. So I think that season 3 didn't get a fair cut because it should have been reviewed and treated like seasons 1 and 2, but, like, financially, they just couldn't handle it. But it's disappointing. How do you think they will resolve Jer's relationship with Conrad and Belly? Since it does seem like they will end up together, but Conrad does seem to care more about Belly than Jer. I think that I think that right now Conrad's just angry at Jeremiah because he hurt Belly, or he feels like he hurt Belly. I don't think that he cares more about Belly than Jeremiah, but at the same time, that's a difficult question. I truly believe that that Conrad loves both Belly and Jeremiah equally. Jeremiah is his brother, and when we get these really sweet sibling conversations, they're really sweet. Like when he says to Jeremiah, like, "You didn't say yes to the job, right? Like you're capable of so much more. You should be doing what you want." You could see this look on Jeremiah's face where he's just like, am I? Like, you believe that? And it's so cute, and I love it. And then when, like, Conrad showed up to the memorial, he's like, "Connie!" Like, he gets all excited. They love each other. I think that it's just in this moment, Jeremiah hurt Belly, and he's angry at her and, or angry at him rather. And, it's going to be difficult because Jeremiah, regardless of whether people think that he's not right for Belly or not, he does love Belly. And so knowing that the demise of his wedding is going to be Conrad, who he suspected was going to be an issue from the very beginning, it's, I don't know, it's hard. I think that the only way that you can grow from that is just time, really taking time and moving on and meeting new people, and hopefully Jeremiah like meeting somebody else and falling in love, and then that's not going to necessarily matter because I think that Jeremiah understands that Conrad loves Belly. I think Jeremiah is just going to be more so angry at the timing of it all, which I don't think that Conrad purposely said this right before the wedding because it's right before the wedding, but I think that he did have time to work that out previously to it and chose to stay away from everybody and not deal with those issues. And if he had been around everybody, this whole scenario would have come up a lot sooner. But because he made the choices he did and he wasn't around everybody, he didn't deal with it, it happened when it happened. So it's like, I really think just time. I think just time and Jeremiah moving on because he does understand that there is love there. It's just it doesn't make it hurt any less. I'm mad and upset with Adam. Aren't we all always? Because he was such a dumbass. He just makes me mad, but I can tell you, Jessie, I do not like Adam at all, not even a bit. I don't like Adam at all, not even a bit either. I think that the comment that he made towards Laurel was really petty. Like someone like, "Oh, thank you for helping with the wedding, Kaylee." Well, someone has to, or someone had to. "Excuse me, sir, you just got on board with this wedding, like, a week ago. Like, what are you talking about?" Like, he looks for I swear he looks for reasons to attack people, especially Laurel, because he's always had it out with Laurel. What annoys me about Laurel's character this season, like, there's so much story there and she is so complex, and I feel like they are just doing her character so wrong. Again, like, I think that they're doing so many things weird this season, but in season 2, we had what I loved and was one of my favorite scenes of season 2, where Laurel's like, "Excuse me, but F you." Like, when she's yelling at Adam, or like, when she's like, "Excuse me, with all due respect, but F you." Something like that. Like, she's so anti-Adam and puts him in his place and is not afraid to do it. And this season, she's like not saying shit. And it annoys me so much. Like, again, the dinner scene, he's like, "Oh, our super senior," and like reaming into Jeremiah over here. And she's just sitting there like, like, Laurel, stand up for one of them. Like, why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you saying anything? Like, she didn't even have to get into an argument with Adam over that. She could have just said something to like change the subject or move on. Like, she could have said something nice about Jeremiah, since Adam, they were going around the table saying nice things about people. And like Adam clearly didn't have anything nice to say. Like, it just, I don't know why they had her not say anything to Adam. And then in that moment where he's like, "Well, somebody had to," I'm like, "Laurel, say something." Like, snap at him, like, do something, put him in his place. You've always been the person to do that. And then she didn't say anything. And I was like, ugh. I want to say that, like, maybe she was just shocked to see Kaylee in front of her, because we know that that had to be really hard for her. But, like, I don't know. I was like, where did Laurel's spunk go? Like, they took it away from her this season. I wanted him to beat Jeremiah up when he found out Jeremiah cheated. Well, actually, in the books, Conrad is the one in season 1, Jeremiah punches Conrad, and, in the books, the dead ball isn't even a thing, um, and Conrad is the one who punches Jeremiah, and then is that the same in book 3? Maybe book 3, Jeremiah punches him, but, I I don't think that I could see Conrad attacking him like that. I feel like he would just have been really angry and yelled at him. Do you think that she should be with Jeremiah or Conrad? To be 100% completely honest, I don't think she should be with either, but I could see there being a time jump and her and Conrad finding each other again, because I do like the Jeremiah Belly best friend relationship more so than I do the romantic relationship, and I would love for them to have that again. But with Conrad, there clearly can't be a friendship. There clearly just can't be a friendship. He can't have that and she can't have that. It's been established many times. Like, it's either a romance or not. So I wouldn't be I would love them all to go their separate ways, but I know that's not gonna happen. I would love them all to go back to being friends, but Conrad and Belly can't do that. It's impossible. So I just want there to be at least a little time jump and then have them find their way back. I have watched Exo Kitty and I love, love, love that show. I actually want Taylor and Steven to not end up together, because they're always making first love is your last trope with Laurel. John and Belly, Conrad already, or Laurel should have been with Cleveland. Iron Man, I've been saying it since the beginning. Where is my man, Cleveland? Why? Why is like, the thing is too, like, I love John, don't get me wrong. Like, I think John's really sweet and I think he's really cute and I think he really does care a lot about Laurel. And like, I'm not bothered by the whole them getting back together thing. But like, why did we just get rid of Cleveland? Like, I thought what she was having with Cleveland was so cute and so sweet. And then they had the connection of Cleveland to Conrad, where he helped him with a bunch of things. Conrad trusted him. It was like a male figure in his life that, like, he hadn't had, obviously, because of Adam. I just loved Cleveland's character so much. I thought it was bringing so much to the table. And then poof, he was just gone. And I was like, why? Where's my Cleveland? I miss Cleveland so much. Um, I I was a big Staler fan. I love Staler. I the thing is, like, I wouldn't be opposed to Staler, but I don't think that they've matured within themselves. Like, Tim, let me take that back. I think Steven has. I don't think that Taylor's matured enough. I think she's starting to. I mean, obviously she was really nice to Denise and she was cool about that whole thing. But I don't feel like there's enough time for me to make it make sense or like it. So if they did it, I wouldn't be like annoyed, but I don't know. They got to make it make sense. Why did he just randomly support the wedding? I have come to the conclusion that he's using it as a business deal. He wants to invite all of his friends, he wants to invite all of his business partners. He wants to treat it like a nice little dinner party for his business. He wants to flaunt around his son who's a part of the company. He wants to show off. He's doing it because he's selfish. Yeah, that was a great scene. Why are they not letting Laurel attack Adam? We all want to see it. Why is this not happening? And like that, I guess I keep trying to like go back and forth and again make things make sense. Like I was thinking maybe they didn't want Laurel to attack Adam at the Kaylee situation because Laurel never discussed the Kaylee situation with Belly. That was a big problem of mine. Like Belly knows that Kaylee is the one that Adam cheated on Susanna with. Why are you okay having this woman a part of your wedding? How is this okay? And I'm shocked that Laurel, finding out from Conrad that Belly knows, did not go to Belly and say anything. Like, I would literally have been like, "So you're aware. How do you feel about this? Is that okay? Like, what do you think?" But she never said anything. So I'm like, "What is going?" So I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe they didn't have her do that because she never acknowledged it with Belly. So if she was mad about Kaylee, but, like, she expressed that she was mad about Kaylee showing up. And, like, now that I'm thinking of it, that kinda makes that scene a little silly too, because it's like, you're mad that Kaylee showed up with Adam, but you're also aware that she is planning your daughter's wedding, so, like, why wouldn't she show up with Adam? Season 3 writing. Yeah, Hallie, I have seen it. It's really good. Jeremiah always punches Conrad in the show. Well, we know that's coming too because we saw it in the trailer. Um, but yeah, that's one of the many changes from book to show. Conrad was the one who punched Jeremiah in the first book. I have watched Life with the Walter Boys. Oh yeah, isn't the second season coming out really, really soon? We were talking about this in the other live stream. I need to actually that I'm gonna write that down somewhere. Walter Boys. Because I'm constantly like, what can I watch? And of course, when I have those moments, I never think of anything. And then in moments like this, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to rewatch the first season. I haven't seen it in so long. Are you team Minho? I do like Minho. I do like there it's that one's hard though. I will say that one's hard because all the love interests are so sweet and fun. I saw that Taylor might be pregnant and a photo of her wearing a veil. I've seen the pregnancy rumors for Taylor. I don't feed into it. I think that the argument came up when she was, like, ordering food with Belly, and I like, a small part of me was like, "Hmm," but I don't think anything has been brought up since to indicate that she is, and then we just had her pounding shots with Belly. We just had her pounding shots with Belly like crazy in this last episode. So that's when I was like, yeah, no, I don't think she is. Because if they are gonna pull that, I don't think they would have either had her be like, I'm gonna be the sober DD and like, because I just think Taylor's pregnant because of how cranky she's been. I think Taylor's always cranky. But yeah, I think if they were going to sway it that way, they would have had her be DD for the bachelorette party, and they didn't, so I don't think it's a thing. Steven and Denise endgame. I have to say Denise really grew on me. I didn't like her at first. I found her really annoying and very rude, and, she really grew on me, and I like her, and I think that her and Steven could be cute. But I think that she is also smart enough to know that he is not over Taylor. And I think, like, in the last episode when they almost kissed, and then he was like, "Oh, I have to go help Lucinda," and she was like, "Yeah, okay, like, you're a good guy, Conklin." I think she was thinking, like, "Yeah, we can't kiss, like, this can't happen. Like, I think you do have a thing for me, you do like me, but you're still wrapped up with Taylor, so I don't think it's gonna happen." I wish that Jeremiah and Conrad could get along because they don't need to fight. If Susanna was there, she wouldn't want that. Yeah. Um, I that's one of the reasons I really hate the time jump because we don't get to see anything that happened in those 4 years, so all we know is that, like, Conrad tried to stay away. We do get I forget what episode it is, but they do mention that, like, him and Jeremiah do, like, keep in contact, and they talk, so that's good, and the moments that we do get with them together, they are sweet, it is cute, but and again, this is just me because, like, my situation's different. My brothers are my best friends. My brothers are my best friends. My brother, one lives in Pittsburgh and he comes up all the time. Like, we hang out all the time. We have a siblings chat. I talk to them every single day. Like, I am very close to my brothers. So it kind of breaks my heart that after Susanna passed, they didn't have a much closer relationship because Conrad was trying to stay away from them with Jeremiah being with Belly. And, like, I get why he needed to at the beginning, but for the whole 4 years, and it's just it yeah, it makes me sad. I have heard about Denise going to end up with Jeremiah, hoping he ends up with some guy like Redbird. He is bi in the show, hoping they take advantage of that. So I've seen I've seen the Denise Jeremiah comments too, and while I could see it, I don't think that Denise would have the patience to be with Jeremiah. I think that one of the reasons Belly and Jeremiah lasted so long is because they have that deep, long friendship. And at the end of the day, let's face it, Belly is just as immature as Jeremiah. They're both babies. So I don't think that Denise and him would work out. I could see maybe like a hookup or something happening, but I could never see Denise actually being in a relationship with him. Redbird, however, I could. And this goes back to like the second, no, yeah, maybe the second episode um, when Jeremiah is talking to Redbird about how he should have told Belly about Lacey sooner, and Redbird's like, "Yeah, probably." There's some, like, facial expressions that Redbird makes that kind of, to me, indicates a little bit that, like, maybe he was, like, jealous or something. Um, and then my friend actually just sent me an edit on TikTok of things that happen in this episode, and, they were like, he's granted they're really good friends, but they're at the grill together. Jeremiah is walking down the street. Redbird's got his arm around him. When they carry him upstairs, he's like defending him of why he can't go meet Belly. And so I could see something happening there. I did see another edit of somebody that was like trying to show in the last episode that Jeremiah cheated on Belly with Redbird at the bar. And I was like, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. That's not a thing. But I could see them being interested in each other. And yeah, they do make it a point to say that Jeremiah is bi. What if Adam is using the business deal as an excuse and then when the wedding fails, he marries Kaylee? I could see him doing that. Um, I don't think anybody would care. So I hope they don't do it. I could totally see Adam doing that, but I think, like, as viewers, everyone would just be like, "Oh god, like, we don't care, Adam. We don't have time for this crap. Do whatever the hell you wanna do. We don't care. We wanna see different stuff." So I hope that they don't, but I could see it. I also in the trailer, we have Belly, like, walking down the aisle with flowers, and I don't think that's her wedding. I think maybe she's, like, a flower girl or, like, in a wedding party. So I did see somebody say that, like, maybe John and Laurel will get remarried. Because like, if Belly looks happy doing that, it's gotta be that she's happy about something, and I don't see her being happy at Adam's wedding. August 28th it comes out, okay. So, yeah, I have to rewatch the first episode or the first season. Yeah, the last episode made me cry too. Um, LOML is my favorite song off of TTPD. I absolutely love that song. As I said in my reaction, it's one of the few songs that, like, I could hear the first few notes of and immediately start crying, and the second I heard it, I was like, "Oh my god." I instantly started crying. My friend who watched it after me, and she was texting me, and she was like, "Oh my god, Robin," and I was like, "Just wait. Just wait." And then she just texted me and was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Yeah. Yeah, you're crying. We're all crying. We are all crying." I think him and Denise are perfect for each other, and I'm annoyed with him and Taylor. I can see them definitely being together, and I think it's cute, like, the way that they're like, the way they, like, play with each other and banter back and forth, but then I was also thinking if they wanna get into business with each other, if they're, like, serious about this company, which she seems to be, like, very, very serious about it, I don't see them getting together and hooking up. Like, I could see her being like, "We need to do this and figure this out for the sake of our careers because we're literally leaving the company to do this." And so I don't think jumping into a relationship in addition to that is gonna be a good idea. So I don't know, I just don't see it happening. My brothers are way older than me and have their own families, but I still see them all the time. Yeah, my one brother's 8 years older than me, my one brother's 10 years older than me. I was a surprise. And, but we're still pretty close, and, they aren't married and they don't have kids, though, so that's, I think, a big thing too, is, like, they have the time to just, like, if we wanna plan something and get together, we can do it like that. Like, it just has to make like, work has to make sense. Um but I'm very fortunate that I'm that close with my brothers. Denise would never like Jeremiah. Yeah, again, like, I could see them, like, hooking up or something because she is coming around to him. She is coming around to him. I mean, she's coming to the wedding and everything, and he's like, coming over like, "Oh, you guys are here. Let's go make drinks and stuff." She went out with them, hung out. So I think that like she's past the whole like making fun of him thing. But as far as a couple, there's no way she would be able to tolerate him. Redbird actor, he said he is in all last 4 episodes. Really? Something to think about. I would love John and Laurel being remarried. I think that might be where it's going because unless Belly the scene where she do you remember what I'm talking about, everyone, where she's like she has the flowers and she's walking down what appears to be an eye, she's holding flowers, right? I'm like, "No, did I make this all up in my head?" It's in the trailer. I think she's in like a white dress and she might even have, does she have the infinity necklace on? I don't remember, but she's clearly looks like she's walking down and taking part in a wedding, and she's smiling. That could be a dream. It could have been a dream sequence. But if not, I could see it being John and Laurel getting remarried. I needed Beach Confession to be longer. I don't know, they could have added something more for the show, like it was just copy from line to line from the book. Yeah, I think it's interesting the things that they chose to change. Like they chose to change some very drastic things. And that it was pretty much word for word. Um I was more so wanting a longer unicorn scene. I thought the scene with the unicorn and that whole thing was really cute, but it felt really rushed, and I wanted a little more time with that. I was sad that they did cut lines of the confession scene. Um, I have to reread that and watch the scene again because I don't remember what they cut. The unicorn scene was way rushed. I didn't like it because of that. Yeah, and like again, they're kids. They're very, very young kids. But I felt like those kids in the other scenes that we saw them were way better actors than they were in that scene. Which like again, like we've seen them multiple times now and they're really, really good. So it was like not only was the scene rushed, but I felt like maybe like the kids were rushed in acting in it too. 'Cause I was like, I don't know, I felt like the whole thing felt off to me, and I was like I was really looking forward to that because I think it's such a cute part of the book. I'm happy they didn't add Conrad back hug Belly on the beach from the book because Belly was also drunk and it would have been inappropriate. There's a lot of things that book Conrad did that I felt were inappropriate that I like that they did not put in the show. Like, a lot of things. There's a scene where the scene in, at the end of, book 1 where it's Belly and him are fighting, and, there's no dead ball, they're just, like, having an argument, and Conrad grabs her and shakes her. They put I'm like, some of these things, I'm like, "Jenny, girl, what were you thinking?" Like, putting this in. He grabs her and shakes her, and Jeremiah intervenes and is like, "Leave her alone," and then Conrad hits him, and I was like, "That whole scene is freaking messy." So, like, I'm really happy that they didn't put that in there because that's just weird. But, yeah, there's a lot of things that they had Conrad do in the book that they didn't do in the show, and I'm happy, but then there's a lot of things that he did do that they gave to Jeremiah, which I don't see why they did that. It's like, if you're not gonna give it to the character who originally had it, maybe nobody should have it. Like, One of the things that I didn't like in this episode was everyone keeps pointing at excuse me, guys. Oh my god. I shouldn't even have my window open. My allergies are so bad. I have it open for you, Dobbie, and you're not even sitting in it. One of the things that I did not like was um a lot of people keep pointing out that Jeremiah was laughing when Redbird was talking about the Lacey situation. I don't think he was laughing. I think he was doing that like drunk like thing. And you could see he's clearly uncomfortable with the conversation because he's not saying anything. And he's like pounding shots. And then he runs away. He goes like, "Whoa," and he runs away and goes and pukes in the bathroom. In the book, he's not present for that conversation. He's already in the bathroom puking, and then Conrad overhears the friends talking about it. So it's like little things like that. Like again, I don't know why they chose to do that. Like I don't know why they chose to have him there when, like, they coulda just did what happened in the book. I don't know if they're trying to just make changes from the book to keep it interesting, but it's just interesting to me that all of the things are negative things that Jeremiah is doing. So it's like it makes me feel like that's why, like, when people say, like, character assassination, I honestly agree with it. I agree with it. That doesn't mean that I hate Conrad. But, I think that they're and it also doesn't mean that I don't think that Conrad has proved that he cares about Belly. Like, I feel like a lot of people think when some people on Team Jeremiah say it's character assassination, that is indicating that's the only reason that Conrad is a good option. I don't believe that, but I do believe there is character assassination going on. I'm gonna go rewatch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah, I really need to rewatch it again because there's so many these episodes are so rewatchable because there's so many things that you can catch that you didn't catch the first time around. Even just like little snippets of things that people say or like background things that people say. It's definitely I'm rereading the last book. I re-listened. I have the audiobook. I re-listened to the last book before the season started. Yeah, I think I did it before the season started, but I still can't remember a lot from it. And now that like these scenes are playing out, I definitely want to do it again. Trying to compare and contrast. Yeah, I need to listen to the audiobook again because they're especially with the ending coming up. That was a big thing that they changed in the book too. Conrad's POV, again, I wanted more of everything else. In Conrad's POV in the book, he goes into like how Jeremiah has always been more like Susanna and he has always been more like Adam, and that's why he's in a way like hated Adam, and like clearly that's not what they're doing in this season. They're definitely making Jeremiah more like Adam, but we didn't get any of that in Conrad's POV. So I think that again, I think they're trying to just change things from the book to make it interesting for book readers, but it's not like an upgrade for me. Hell yeah, I like Big Time Rush. Is that what you're talking BTS, Big Time Rush? No, BTS. That's not an R. BTS is the K-pop band, right? I've listened to some of their stuff. I like that. Big Time Rush was on my head because my friend was sending me video snippets of them before. It feels like Belly is the one who will call the wedding off in the show instead of Jeremiah. I hope not. um I don't think so though. I hope it's Jeremiah, and I hope it's a little more civilly than it was in the book, because I feel like Jeremiah did it, and then Belly was kind of like angry and upset and still like not understanding or agreeing fully. Um so I don't know. I just don't see her being the one to do it in the show, because if she were going to call off the wedding, I think she would have done it by now. I just don't see her doing it. I think that she's in such denial. I also think it's like being Belly and having time and time again confessed your love to Conrad and asked him to confess it back. And again, we understand why he did the things he did. We understand why he left her at the motel. We understand why all of those situations happened, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they still happened. I think she is truly afraid of ever getting back into anything with him again, because she doesn't want to feel the pain of losing him again. And so for her, it's like, even though Conrad just confessed he loves her, she's thinking, "You're gonna take it back again. This is what you always do. You say, 'I like you.' No, I don't. You say, 'I have feelings for you.' Oh, pretend I didn't say that. You say, 'I wanna be with you,' and then you don't wanna be with me." And it's like, what's interesting is what Jeremiah said to her at the end of season 2, which was, "I don't think I could, like, get over the heartbreak of losing you again if we start something." And then she kisses him and they start something anyway. I think that's how she feels towards Conrad, which is like, if I do this again, like, it better be endgame, we are final, because I can't take the heartbreak of losing you again or having you leave again. And therefore, I don't know if she'll bring herself to that point. Like, I don't know if she'll be able to. I liked his POV in the book too, after the peach scene. Oh my gosh, there was the funniest freaking TikTok. What was the guy? I was rolling on the floor laughing, where he's clearly making it like a joke, but he's going into like both brothers, and he's like, um, he was like, the man made her eat 8 peaches. The man made her eat like 8 peaches. It was so funny. Oh, am I gonna get in trouble if I play it? I might get in trouble if I play it. I don't know how that stuff works. Wow, I have way too many saved TikToks. This is a little absurd, Jessie. Are these my saved ones, or are these... Oh, you can create collections? That's cool. This guy. His name is Matty Haverty. Mattyhaverty. He made the funniest freaking TikTok. I know what it's like to be the one that disappoints your parents. That's why I have to support Jeremiah. And then Conrad, the man made her eat like 8 peaches. It was so funny. After I heard some parts of audiobooks, I wanted an episode where Belly and Conrad both voice over their thoughts. Um Yeah, well, that's why I was annoyed with episode 5 a little bit, because we did get that from Conrad. He was doing his voiceovers, but it was all just him swooning over Belly. I wanted, like, him to talk about other things. I feel like they did his character a disservice. And I think, like, a lot of people were like, "Well, that's all he thinks about is Belly. So it makes sense that, like, all we saw was Belly." And I was like, "Yeah, but, like, that's also not true. Like, come on. He's not crazy." Like, Like, does he think about Belly a lot? Sure, but we know that, like, Belly isn't in there 24/7 because that would be psychotic, so, like, he has other thoughts. Let's give the man some credit. He's becoming a doctor, like, so I wish they gave us more. Play it. I just don't show the screen and react like you did the first time. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's test it. I don't know how TikToks work with YT. Some people don't even say the names. I just had it. Where did I put it? Here.
Why are you Team Jeremiah? I'm not. I just know what it's like. I know what it's like to be a harlot from Massachusetts with bad credit.
With bad
I know
credit.
what it's like to go out every day, fail, forget to read a very, very important email, let down your friends, let down your family, and then come home and be a little spoon. You may not know what that's like, but I do.
Love it.
And Jeremiah, that's my boy out there. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And when I look into his eyes, I see a glimpse of myself. I hate it, but it's there. And the public hates him. And if I can't advocate for him, if I can't love him, I can't love myself. I need to do this. And listen, Conrad, I've been on your side since day one, man. Day one, Team Conrad. Buddy, you waited too long. 4 years is diabolical work. And to people that's like, oh, Conrad worked on himself. He went to therapy. When did he start? Yesterday? He didn't go to therapy. He fucked off for 4 years in California. Didn't talk to anyone. He didn't process one bit of this. He was around Belly for like 2 hours. He made her eat like 8 peaches. That's not chill. Conrad, you need to get a grip. That's your brother's fiance. I'm sorry. I can't punish Jeremiah the way you want me to. I can't. I'm sorry. Why are you Team Jeremiah?
I hope you guys could hear that. It was so funny. He was around her for like 2 hours. He made her eat 8 peaches. Oh my god. I know what it feels like to be a harlot in Massachusetts. And then come home and want to be the little spoon. Oh my god. I was dying. Maybe he's psychotic. Have you seen Dawson's Creek? I have seen episodes of Dawson's Creek like years ago when it was airing on TV as a teenager. And I never, just like Gilmore Girls, like that was airing around the same time. I never really watched it. I did watch the entire Gilmore Girls series. I have not revisited Dawson's Creek though, but I do want to revisit that because I want to like sit down and watch everything, you know? Um but I know like I'm familiar with the characters and the premise. I have to go, but it was nice to talk to you. Nice to talk to you too, Haley. So I was doing the lives before the new oh, I gotta go too. I was doing the lives before the new episodes, and now I started doing them after. I think it might be more fun to do it after. So I would say the next time Thursday at 6:30. I'm gonna be a good girl and make myself do 6:30. I pushed it to 7, but Big Brother comes on at 8 and I don't want to cut them short again. So we'll do 6:30. 6:30 next Thursday. And I'm sure we'll all have a lot to talk about. It is going to be the aftermath of the Bachelorette Bachelor party. So a lot is going to happen. Yeah, I'm excited for it. But I'm gonna get off too. Mwah. I love all of y'all. Thank you so much for coming into the live. And I'll see y'all next week.